Welcome back to the GSL Season 2 as we are in the final day of the round of 64. Hello and welcome. I'm Jason Lee, and I'm joined by Jörgen Johannesson, also known as Executor. Welcome back again. Actually, I must apologize because I actually said I wasn't going to be here today. I really thought so, but just couldn't get enough of this StarCraft 2 stuff. So I decided to make a repeat visit and certainly am looking forward to it as we, of course, got a lot more matches to go through today. The final rounds for the round of 64, final matches, I should say, for the round of 64, and some interesting matchups that we have today because we've got some bigger names to get to on today's slate, which I'm very excited about. You know what I love about StarCraft 2? I think this is a game that a lot of people have waited for. It's a game that has been basically under anticipation for about 3-4 years. You have people that we're barely even playing this game when StarCraft 1 was released back in the day. I mean, you're talking about kids that are like 16, 17 years old right now. They're here as pro gamers trying to live the dream. Imagine them like 6-7 years old when StarCraft 1 was first introduced, when professional leagues were first introduced. We go on the other side of the spectrum. We have people that have moved on. They've gone on to business careers, making business as office workers, and now StarCraft 2 comes back. Hey, I want to give this another shot, and a lot of different things that have been created from the opportunity of this game and a lot of different people that we have as part of this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I just know, I know that actually people that were professional gamers here in Korea, early stages of StarCraft 1, that quit and found a normal job, came back to just play StarCraft 2 and work at the same time, actually.
Very exciting to see. Well, let's go and take a look at some of the results from last night as we see the results. Here they are, as it was Gilja who went on to a 2-1 victory over KangJiYoung. It was KangJiYoung, 2-1 winner against Bless, he of Warcraft 3 fame. It was Terrius taking out Holt Prime 2-1, and then a couple of sweeps to round out the evening as Lee Nock took down Legal Mind, and it was Check Prime that took a 2-0 sweep over Next Garnet. And it was definitely an interesting evening of games. I certainly enjoyed it, as actually it was my first experience broadcasting StarCraft 2, so that was a lot of fun to do. And now I'm looking forward to a brand new slate of games today as we continue on in the round of 64. Let's take a look at our first match today. It is NesTea against KangJiYoung. That is a ZVT, and then a TVP with Pak Jong-hyuk against Next Chief. Zerg versus Terran in Idra taking on Chicken Combo. Of course, Idra also one of our commentators here while Tasteless and Artosis are away at BlizzCon. And our fourth match for today is Rexxan Dark against OGS Gon. So a good slate of matches. Another PVT there, by the way, in our fourth matchup. And I must say, you know, like I said, yesterday was my first opportunity to broadcast StarCraft 2. I guess you're definitely more familiar with the game, and certainly a lot of fun to get into. We've got some more matches to look at today, including some good players. Here's one of our senior audience members, you could say, NesTea, coming in at 29 years of age. I mean, for StarCraft 2 credit, you've got to say that it's definitely on the older end.
Yeah, that's definitely, like, when you're approaching 30 years old, and most gamers tend to quit playing, but I mean, I don't see any reason for doing that. I mean, yeah, dexterity and your hand movements might be not as fast, but it's a strategic game, and you still have to be able to think about strategies and stuff. So the older you get, I guess the wiser you become.
Well, his opponent is KangJiYoung, and his actual real name is Kim Chan-min. So, kind of neat. He's got a Korean name as his ID, but yet it's different from his actual Korean name. Maybe we'll find out after what his ID actually represents. He's actually quite younger, not in the teens. He actually is 20 years of age, so probably a student, you would expect. we'll see exactly how he fares in this particular matchup. And this is a Zerg versus Terran. We've seen a lot of this lately. Certainly had a lot of these matches last night, and should be a good matchup again today.
Yeah, Zerg versus Terran has been very Terran favored, but with the latest patch, I feel like this is becoming a very balanced matchup right now, so I'm looking forward to this.
Let's briefly talk about this patch that we have been talking about. It's basically doing something to favor Zerg as compared to Terran.
Yeah, well, actually, to be honest, the prior to this patch, it was very hard for Zerg to beat Terrans, in my opinion. Not just as a Zerg player, but as a observer. And what the patch has done is that basically allowing Zerg to fast expand almost any map, any position, and that makes the game more balanced in form of that the Terran army will always be stronger than Zerg, so the Zerg needs a better economy to be able to outproduce the Terran.
Okay, let's quickly take a look at the maps that we're going to be using for today. Xel'Naga Caverns is going to be set number 1, set 2 is Jungle Basin, and set number 3 is Scrap Station. So those are the maps, as mentioned. We're going to be starting off on Xel'Naga Caverns. Let's go to set 1.
경기가 시작됐습니다. 젤라가 동굴에서 펼쳐지는
Xel'Naga Caverns is the site of the map. And let's take a look at NesTea here at the 7 o'clock location. And he is the red Zerg. And his opponent is over in the upper right corner. That is KangJiYoung. He is the blue Terran player. Now, looking at the map for Xel'Naga Caverns, any preferences that you favor one race or the other here?
Yeah, I think this map is actually going to be a Terran favorite map in this matchup. I think Iro mentioned it yesterday, I mentioned it also yesterday. The expansion is fairly wide, so it's vulnerable for harass, especially with Hellions. Before it was Reapers, now it's going to be Hellion harass probably. And the middle part is pretty narrow, so it's going to be hard for the Zerg player to outflank any Terran army coming for a big push that will eventually come. So yeah, I'm favoring Terran on this map.
Okay, he's got the supply out and barracks at the choke point. We're working on a wall-in early on here.
Pretty standard, getting the refinery for orbital command and just getting the gas for the early factory and a Hellion harass, most likely.
Our Zerg player, NesTea, is working on this fast hatchery first. So hatchery and then spawning pool and extractor in that order. Working on the macro game early on. SCV sent out by KangJiYoung. As he's going to take a peek around, check out what NesTea is up to.
Yeah, I mean, because of the maps and the patch changes, the Zerg can actually go 14 hatch, 14 pool nowadays, and that's a pretty economical build. I mean, you can go 14 hatch, 13 pool to be totally safe, but nowadays you can go 14 hatch, 14 pool. Even yesterday we saw one guy going 16 pool even. And the later you get the pool, the better economy you will have. So, I mean,
we'll see how that comes into play in this game. There is the completion of the wall off there so that a drone cannot get by. Marine guarding up the front as well, just to make sure. Spawning pool complete. And so is the extractor. Roach Warren on the way as well for NesTea. How do you like the Roach play here by NesTea at this point?
It's totally this is the way Zerg has to play CVT now, because they know that Reapers is not a threat anymore. So they know that the only option Terran has early game is going to be a Hellion harass, and to counter Hellion harass, Roaches is the best way of doing it. But again, this map is pretty wide with the expansion area, so the Hellions might be able to run around and get some roam kills anyways.
Let's see if that's the case. NesTea giving chase to that SCV.
Yeah, even he's even researching the blue flame for the Hellions to make them even stronger against both Zerglings and drones and light infantry units. So he's gonna go a very heavy Hellion play.
Queen out with 2 roaches starting off for NesTea. And another scout SCV heading back to check out the numbers, if any, of Zerglings. Actually, Zergling jumping on him right away as he goes to the observation deck.
Yeah, it's very important to control the Salnaga towers. It gives great vision of the middle area of the map. And for Zerg especially, I think it's very important because he will see when the Terran is deciding to come for a harass or when he wants to decide to push out.
Taking a peek at the tower with the Hellion. SCV's going to give it a quick repair. Every little hit point counts, and any opportunity to repair is certainly not a moment wasted. Second Hellion out, and it looks like a third one on the way as well. Plenty of roaches, 5 of them, here to defend.
I still think that the Zerg needs to do a creep tumor in his base so he gets the creep from both expansion and his main properly covered, so the roaches have maximum speed to cover both bases. But that's just a little detail, I guess.
Medevac picking up 4 Hellions. Evolution chamber complete. And gonna go over to the main, it looks like. And it's going to get by unspotted if you take a look at the mini-map here. NesTea is not going to know about this. He is now. Let's see how this harass goes. Actually, the roaches got there pretty quick. A lot faster than I anticipated them to make it there.
No, actually the Overlord hovering above his main caught the medevac right before he dropped, so he could respond quickly.
So he was able to spot it, and that was certainly key as the roaches got there quickly. I was actually a little bit concerned that he would not spot that in time, but a good job there by NesTea.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually a very crucial moment of the game because the Hellion has the blue flame upgrade, so 4 Hellions can actually just wipe out the entire drone count very fast.
Baneling Nest on the way for NesTea.
He's actually trying to drop.
Battle Cruiser.
Oh, wow. He actually tried to drop the expansion as well, but NesTea is all over it with his Overlords in good positions. He always sees them coming before he can drop, so very good play by NesTea so far.
Okay, now I must say, as I've said before, I mean, I'm a little bit new to StarCraft 2, but going back to StarCraft 1, I mean, it would definitely be very unusual to see a battle cruiser in a TVZ. Is this a little more normal in StarCraft 2?
I don't think it's a normal strategy, but yeah, I've seen it before, and the battle cruisers are viable. They shoot much faster, and they're a pretty strong unit. But I still don't. What I don't like in general, is one base play. I think StarCraft and StarCraft 2 is not meant to be a one base play. They should always try to expand at some time. And the longer it takes before this is just too much. As I said, it's too much of an all-in attempt to just play one base, especially when the Zerg is going fast expansion. So I don't really like this. But I mean, Battle Cruisers is going to catch the Zerg off guard, so it might actually work if he gets the timing right.
The Spire is up for NesTea. The question now is how much will he be prepared for that battle cruiser when it eventually comes? Of course, he's not going to know that it's coming just yet. And right now, KangJiYoung just trying to occupy him the best he can. And now the battle cruisers do come out. So the attack is on. Meanwhile, it's a counterattack this way by NesTea, the other side. Going up. NesTea is he's going to let his defenses go as he's going to take on a counterattack approach instead. And let's see how effective this is. Oh, and the supply depot's down. He's able to walk right into the main base. Roaches have infiltrated the main. Meanwhile, here's KangJiYoung attacking at the expansion site, battle cruisers and all. Attacks going on both bases. And this is going to be an offense game. Not a lot of defense going on right now as both sides are content to attack. Who is going to stand at the end of this?
I'm betting my money on the Surge, to be honest, because he has had expansion up. He still has a mining base, and Terran has to lift up his command center. So the Surge is looking really good so far.
Plenty of spine crawlers right now for NesTea. This should help out somewhat, and we might be headed for an elimination match here. 2 battle cruisers still alive and well. There is a spore colony as well to help out. Mutalisks attacking, 1 battle cruiser goes down. 8 Mutalisks attacking the 1 battle cruiser. 1 battle cruiser left. Medevac taken down as well. And this might be it. It is indeed GG. NesTea hangs on for the victory here in set number 1. Great game by NesTea. He looked at the opportunity and as you were able to point out, it seemed like he was going to go on to win, and eventually he was able to have the air units prepared. The key, having the Spire up and ready, despite the fact that the battle cruisers came. What did you see as the turning point of this, or what was the key moment?
The key moment of this game was just the Terran staying in one base and allowing the Zerg to have freely 2 bases, not allowing any harass being done. I think the way he put the overlords around the base was really good, and you could see that he didn't get one single drone kill with the four Hellions and the Medivac. So then his timing push didn't be as effective because he had just a lot of units out in the ground. And the decision of going for a counterattack with the Roaches was excellent because he knew that they're worthless against battle cruisers anyways, so just why not use them for something useful, like killing his base instead.
Well, it certainly was a good decision from NesTea's standpoint, and let's see how he does in set 2.